Hi everyone, it's Temple from The Conscious Woman, and I am talking to you today about the blog that I wrote. And I'm going to put it in here in just a second. Here it is. Go. All right. So on my website, templesworld.org, I started blogging years ago, but I started blogging again now because there's a lot of energy around how we present ourselves to other people and how we're engaging with each other. And I think that it's really a new generation now with the millennials that people are really hypersensitive about how they receive information. And last week I talked about, the power play and how in the 80s and 90s it was all about the power play, and that you could have this boardroom type attitude and be large and in charge. That's where I came from. That's why I have a big mouth, and that's why I can, talk over a room and all that. But things have changed quite a bit, and the way that people, the veil is really lifting off, and the barriers between us is getting thinner and thinner. So people, when Dr. Phil says people feel you before they hear you, that is really, really true. People are feeling you long before you finish with your point. And the message that they're receiving is coming from, what's in your spirit. So if you might be polite to somebody, but really inside you're irritated, agitated, frustrated, or even angry, then they're going to feel that instead of your words, right? So we have to be very conscious about what is the energy that you are sending out to somebody. And my blog today, if you were able to read it, it's on the Conscious Woman fan page. Please go to the Conscious Woman and like it, and not just like it, but hit notifications that you get notifications. Otherwise, you're never going to see any of my posts. And the blog post today is, it's not personal. I just need to tell you something crappy about you, right? Have you ever had anybody say something like that to you where they're saying, it's not personal, it's just business, or it's not personal, but I really don't like the way that you handled a certain thing. Well, here comes the sun now, finally, in Seaside, Oregon, and it's about to get in my face, so I'm going to do a quick move the blinds before it's right in my eyes. All right, I'm back. You still get some lines on my face, but this place is so weird. You'll think that you've got the sun and then it's gone and then it's back and then it's gone, and it happens all day. So anyway, I live at the beach. Do you guys know that? Part of my manifesting. I'll talk to you more about that as we go on. Let me tell you how to go from, someplace where everything seems impossible to everything opened up and completely life-changing. So if you want to know how to do that, please go to the Conscious Woman. So my point today, it's just going to be a quick 15-minute talk. And if you want to ask me a question, I'll try to answer you. But really, I just want to get out there the conversation on how we talk to people. And when you're saying it's not personal, that is a lie. It's always personal. It's personal because you're in front of a person. You're not in front of a computer. And even in a computer, look, it's personal right now. So if you said something about me like, Temple, it's not personal, but your eyes are too squinty. Yeah, I'm going to take it personal anyway. So what are we saying to people to get our point across without being degrading, demeaning, or shaming them? And in my blog, you're going to see what I was talking about was this. I kind of got in an argument with this person online because they had stayed at a place that I had rented out, and I provided all these amenities or whatever for him, but then he complained about it, but he never spoke to me. He complained about it somewhere else, and because of that, it left a mark on something that I was providing, where I thought I was providing something that was perfect. He had a different view, and he didn't take the time to talk to me about it. So what happens when we turn around and complain to other people about something that you don't like, but you don't take the time to address it as an adult to the person that could actually do something about it. I'm trying to dodge these sun dots here. So what I had said to the guy was, you could have just private messaged me that you wanted something other than what you got instead of putting it on a public forum, right? But he said, well, I wanted other people to know. Well, why is that important? Why is your view so important if no one else has the same view and you didn't take the time to address it? So if somebody had a complaint about you and that person doesn't come to you, and instead they turn to their network of people and complain about you, that's weak. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but that's weak. So if you're complaining to somebody about something you didn't get, but you didn't take the time to communicate with somebody what you want, then what do you think you're going to get? You're just going to get an agreement that you didn't get what you wanted. Well, how does that elevate anybody? The point is you want what you want, right? So the way to get what you want is to ask for it instead of assuming that everybody's going to read your mind and know exactly what you want. I mean, there are certain degrees, like if you go to, a spa and you know that you're going to be treated with kindness and courteous, and they're going to offer you a towel and they're going to offer you a robe or whatever. And if somebody was not offering you those things, then you'd probably go to the front desk and say, I didn't get my robe, or I didn't get my towel, or I didn't get my glass of cucumber water, right? And what would the girl do? She would get you those things, apologize, I'm sorry, we were short-staffed, or somebody forgot to get that. I'm going to make sure you have that right away. And then you'd get what you want and you move on. But if you have an experience like that and then you go home and you just tell your friends or post it on Facebook, God, don't ever go to that spa again, I didn't get my cucumber water. Well, who cares? You didn't take any time to be conscious about the situation and try to bring in some compassion and empathy for what might be happening behind the scenes. Maybe the girl that usually makes the cucumber water was out sick that day, or maybe she sneezed on the cucumber and had to throw it away. You don't know. But what I'm talking about is to raise your compassion and empathy in your level of communication. Be conscious. It's okay to talk to people about stuff. We don't have to have super high expectations and then not get it. If you have super high expectations of something that you know you're going to get, like if you're flying first class or whatever, your expectations are high. And if you're not getting what you want, go ahead and ask for it. So I'm asking you to change that into how we talk to each other in a relationship, because we have lots of expectations around relationships, don't we? High expectations that people need to act right, do right, be right. And if you have a spouse and you're always expecting them to act right, do right, be right, say right, you're probably disappointed a lot, right? Does anybody have a thumbs up on that? If you are always expecting them to be the way that you want them to treat you, then they're going to fall short. But what do you expect of yourself in your communication? And then you turn around and tell that person, you're not living up to my expectation. I need you to be X, Y, Z. And that person says, well, I've kind of always been like this though. So why do I need to change so much for you? And you say, well, because I expect more. We have to grow and that's it. So if you have an expectation over how somebody needs to treat you, and that is dictating the happiness of your relationship, then I'm inviting you to really be conscious on how you put that to that person. That's why my blog says, it's not personal, but I'm going to say a bunch of crappy things about you, because we have to be kind and direct. So you can tell somebody, look, I do have an expectation, like when we have a date night, I would like you to dress up and to brush your teeth and be, presentable and ready to go, like I'm going to do for you. And I want it to be special. but the last few times we went out, you barely, you look like you barely threw yourself together and you had a ratty old shirt. And I want it to be special. And I want you to want it to be special as well. So is that something that you can do? And then you've now laid out your expectation and you're giving the person an opportunity to say, well, I don't want to get dressed up. Take it or leave it. We can either have our date night as is, or if you want something different, then, you're going to have to go without me. Or they could say, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I wasn't putting more effort into the situation, and I do want to enjoy my time with you, and I do want to look good for you. So I will take some extra time, next Friday to make sure I put myself together so we both look good going out. Do you understand the difference than saying, you know what, every time we go out, you just look like crap. You don't even put an effort into it. And I really want to be with somebody that cares about themselves. So it's not personal, but you're smelly and you look like crap, right? Do you understand? There is a different delivery on conscious communication, that we need to be compassionate and empathize with our partners on how you can sell what it is you want from them in a way that you're going to get what you want, because that's really the point. Everybody just wants to get what they want, right? So how are you communicating with the people you love in the way that they're not responding to you? They're shutting down because you're criticizing first instead of presenting your story, presenting your want and desire and why. Does that make sense? So I'm just putting it out there today that I really want to see couples learn to have more gentle communication, and that your energy is not coming out as, the critical beast, which women have a reputation of doing and being. And I'm guilty. So I've had to tame my beast and learn to be a more direct and kind communicator with my spouse, instead of just trying to, force him to be what I want him to be and do what I want him to do. I have to present my case, this is how I feel about this. This is what I'm seeing. I would like it if we could have it this way, and I hope you can get on board with me. What do you think? And then I gotta wait. And then he tells me his opinions. And then if I disagree, I gotta wait until he's finished. And then I get to rally back. Well, I appreciate you sharing with me. I still, would really appreciate if we could have some change in this area. So maybe you could take some time to think about that, and we could revisit it later, or just maybe write an email to each other about some of the things that we think we could elevate, what would be more enjoyable if we went on a date, or what are some of the things we enjoy together more, and just remember the things that we appreciate about each other, right? So that's going to be a wrap for me on The Conscious Woman today. And you can go to my page, The Conscious Woman, or you can go to my website, templesworld.org. But read my blog. I think a lot of you women will sympathize and really relate to the blogs. They're mostly about how women try to take over the world, which has happened a lot in my network of people. And, and I have a long line of bossy women in my family. And so it's good. Go Auntie. Well, there's one of the bossy girls in my family right now, my niece. So we've come from a long line of women that are in control of things. And we need to learn, as controlling women, that our energy is extremely powerful and effective. And if you're coming at somebody with a high expectation, and behind that energy is frustration, irritation, or even anger, then you've already knocked your partner out of the game. They're going to shut down. So the way to approach somebody that is already probably on the defensive the second you walk up to them is to pull your energy back into your body, maybe slow your words down, And just be clear and precise. Take some breaks between your sentences and make sure that they heard you and ask them, do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And wait for a response. And just sell your part. I want this, and this is why. And do it with a smile on your face and try to stay lighthearted about it when it comes to things around the house, you know, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, whatever. We can all do it together and enjoy it. So I love you all, conscious women. Thank you for coming on today. Please go to my website and sign up for my email list because I have lots of special offers for couples. Couples are on my mind. I definitely want to put it out there on how to bring consciousness into your relationship that you can handle the hard stuff, because you're not going to create a life that you're never going to go off the rails. We all go off the rails, but we can learn how to manage our energy in a much more effective way and communicate that as master communicators and masters of our own energy, right? Okay, I know, I love you all, and everybody that's on right now, I know you're all very high energy women, so take it to heart and stay conscious. Love you.